On the night of Monday, June 23rd, 2025, around 9:30 p.m., the police from Homewood, Alabama, responded to a report of a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot of Homewood Soccer Park on South Lakeshore Drive. Inside the car were 18-year-old Jabari Latrell Peoples of Aliceville, Alabama, and another occupant, which later revealed to be his girlfriend. According to the police, a scuffle ensued. Peoples supposedly broke away from the officer and grabbed a handgun from the driver's side door pocket. An officer then fired one round in what was described as a self-defense measure after Peoples allegedly posed an immediate threat by bringing the gun into play. The officer sustained minor injuries and was treated at the scene, while Peoples was transported to UAB Hospital and later pronounced dead. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency took custody of all body and dashcam footage as part of its investigation, as per standard protocol. Homewood Police has stated that the video clearly supports the officer's version, end quote, of events and arrangements that were reportedly on the way to allow the family to view the footage. However, 4 days after the incident, the family attorney, Leroy Maxwell, expressed frustration, saying the footage has not yet been made available to them, and accused law enforcement of a lack of transparency and accountability. The family disputes the official narrative. In a public statement, they asserted Jabari was unarmed, he was compliant, and was not aggressive. They challenged claims of a weapon being present and alleged they were denied basic dignities. They were not notified until more than 12 hours after his death. The autopsy was conducted without their consent, and no medical assistance was initially provided to Jabari after he was shot. The family release stated, quote, Jabari complied, and within seconds, he was taken to the ground and shot. A witness was present. There was no weapon. There was no threat. He was left to bleed out on the street, end quote. The investigation is still ongoing under Aaliyah's State Bureau of Investigation. Once completed, the findings will be submitted to the Jefferson County District Attorney, who will determine whether the officer's use of force was legally justified. The family has demanded the immediate release of all footage, identification of the officer, and an independent, transparent review. A vigil is scheduled for June 30th at 6:30 p.m. at the soccer park as pressure mounts for accountability and clarity in the tragic aftermath of Jabari's Peoples' death. Right here, this is sad. Imagine finding out a half a day later that your child had passed. Imagine finding out 12 hours later that he or she was shot by the police. Imagine the heartbreak. From what I heard and reports tell me, his father only found out about his son while he was watching television. That's heartbreaking. And folks, why on earth were they performing an autopsy without the family's consent? You know, and there's a lot that can be said about this. But there's something else that you should think about. Here in the backward state of Alabama, here's what the law says in regards to the body cam footage. Right here. And I'll show it to you right now. Alabama House Bill 289. On the House Bill 289, body worn cameras or dashboard cameras used by law enforcement is eligible to be seen, but only by a parent, court appointed guardian, spouse, or attorney of the person or persons within the footage. That means that when the family sees this footage, the public will not be able to see it unless something happens. So under state law, this camera footage belongs to the city of Homewood, and they are within their rights to withhold this footage from the general public. That sucks, doesn't it? But the good thing is at least the family and their attorney can see it. But as you listen to my report, as of this recording, it has been 4 days and they have yet to see the body cam footage. Now, the next thing is a legal course of action. What happens next? Do the family sue? Well, sit back, because I got something to tell y'all on this one. Back the blue law. Alabama House Bill 202, signed into law on May 15th, 2025, significantly expands civil and criminal immunity for state and local law enforcement officers, including police, sheriff's deputies, detention facility staffs, and tactical medics, by shielding them from lawsuits or persecution for conduct within their discretionary authority unless they acted recklessly without justification or violated a clearly established constitutional or statutory right. It mandates pre-trial hearings to determine immunity, allowing automatic stays on proceedings and appeals to higher courts for improper denials, and imposes heightened pleadings, standards, and discovery restrictions in civil cases. Now, y'all saw that right there. Y'all read that just like I read that. Police in this state have protection against situations like what I just talked about. And also, if you paid attention to my original report, as of this day, as of this recording, the officer in question has not been identified. There has been speculation as to why. I will not repeat it here. It makes sense, but I don't want to add too much fuel to the fire, though. But there's a lot of speculation. But you see what we're up against here in the state of Alabama. And it's tough. Driving while black. You know how the old song and dance goes. So, what are your thoughts? Why are they withholding the camera footage? What do you think about these crazy laws that's passed in the state of Alabama regarding body cam footage, as well as immunity to law enforcement officers? Tell us what you think. This is Mike Walker. Thanks for joining us.